Goldfish. He died for a good cause. He was in a music video.
3 years in a week.
Did you ever hear about, 10 white Molinx Opti Blend 2000 mixers were placed on a simple table. Each of these was filled with water and contained a live goldfish. The mixers were visibly plugged in, and thus ready to use. Anyone pressing the yellow button would thereby kill the fish. Visitors thus became the judges of life or death. An hour after one of the visitors had pressed one of the buttons, the police would enter and order the electricity to be cut off. I don't know, dude. I think that's kind of a cool art piece. Definitely not cool to just blend up goldfish for no reason, but I think it's kind of cool. It's a cool idea. Kind of morbidly beautiful. Did I ever show you, like Yoko Ono, the wife of John Lennon, not a very good singer, in my opinion, but some of her art stuff is not that hacky. It's like kind of cool.
Most people learned about the existence of Yoko Ono in 1968, when she became romantically involved with a guy everyone had heard of. But at the time, Yoko had already established herself as an artist in her own right, and she continued to put forward fascinating and challenging creative output throughout the years she collaborated with the aforementioned guy, and long after she became his widow. Slowly, the world has opened its ears and minds to her work, but still too slowly. Who is Yoko Ono? What
It doesn't really force right and wrong, it forces morbid human curiosity. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I wonder what happens if I press that button.
is her work, and why should you take her seriously? This is the case for Yoko Ono. Yoko Ono was born in Tokyo, Japan in 1933 to a banker father and socialite mother. Little Yoko went to private schools and learned music as the family moved back and forth from the US to Japan.
Not
When World
how
War II came
supreme.
along, even her family's wealth couldn't protect them from hardship, but they survived and rebuilt a life after the war. In 1953, after moving to Scarsdale, New York with her parents, Yoko tried to translate to music the sound of birds outside her window and discovered a format that would become fertile terrain. It was part composition, part poem, and it read, "Decide on one note you want to play. Play it with the following accompaniment: the woods from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. in summer." She enrolled in Sarah Lawrence College and published a story in the campus newspaper titled "A Grapefruit in the World of Park," which
Isn't that kind of cute? I think that's kind of cute.
was part music, the sound of birds outside her window, and discovered a format that would become fertile terrain. It was part composition, part poem, and it read, "Decide on one note you want to play. Play it with the following accompaniment: the woods from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. in summer." She enrolled in Sarah Lawrence College and published a story
Most of her stuff like that is instructional.
in the campus newspaper titled A Grapefruit in the World of Park, which centers around a group of characters trying to figure out what to do with an unwanted grapefruit. It later became a performance piece, and her first artist book of instructions would bear the title Grapefruit when published in 1964. A hybrid of an orange and a pomelo, Grapefruit for Yoko became a metaphor for her own hybridity, as Japanese and American, and as an artist bridging disciplines. By 1960, Ono was deeply involved in New York's experimental art scene. She rented a loft on Chambers Street and opened it as a performance and happening space to the likes of Lamont Young, Simone Forti, and John Cage. She began presenting her own works like Kitchen Piece and Pea Piece, Carry a Bag of Peas, Leave a Pea Wherever You Go, and she befriended Fluxus founder George
Carry a bag of peas. Isn't that sweet? Dude, why? You know, you're just at your friend's house, you fucking leave a little green pea on their kitchen table. It's Japanese. That's maybe just culturally I'm more sheltered from it, but to me, like, I'd never heard of stuff like that, which is kind of cool.
Chunas, who hosted her first gallery show in 1961, where she presented her instruction pieces alongside canvases and invited viewers to interact. The remarkable thing about Yoko's instructions is that they could be completed anywhere, by anyone, and exist outside of galleries and museums. Voice Piece for Soprano asks you to scream against the wind, the wall, and the sky. You can do the action, or just imagine it. For Yoko, either way, you become an artist too. Her performance works from the 60s include Bag Piece, which usually involved two performers who would enter a large black bag that they could see out of but you couldn't see in. What happened inside was up to them. And there was Cut Piece, for which the performer, usually Yoko, kneeled on stage and invited audience members to cut away pieces of her clothing to take with them. The physical body is central for Yoko. In Cut Piece, you are stripped of your outward signifiers, giving yourself to the audience, to the work. And in the bag, you become detached from your sex, race, and age. You are only a body, an idea also underlined in her 1966 film Number 4, for which she spliced together footage of bottoms in motion. Shot from close range, you usually can't tell the bottom's gender. The work sought to dismantle taboos surrounding nudity, indict the objectification of actors and models, and celebrate something we all share. In 1966, she also had a show at London's Indica Gallery, where she displayed works like ceiling painting, where you're invited to climb a ladder and look through a magnifying glass to see the word yes on a canvas, and White Chess Set, which invites you to play with an all-white board and all-white pieces, rendering your side indistinguishable from your opponent's. It also included an apple resting on a plexiglass pedestal, which a VIP guest to the gallery brazenly took a bite of. That guest was John Lennon, and not too long after, the two were inseparable in work and in life. Yoko and Lennon began collaborating widely, through music as well as their anti-Vietnam War campaigning. In lieu of a honeymoon, they conducted a bed-in for peace at the Amsterdam Hilton in 1969, using their celebrity as a medium and inviting journalists into their room to put something nice in the newspapers and promote a message of world peace. Their campaign, War is Over, If You Want It, sent this message around the world. As with her past works, she is issuing an instruction-like prompt, suggesting that peace can be had by simply imagining it. Lennon would later confess that his best-selling 1971 single, Imagine, should have been credited to Ono as well, the word coming directly out of many of her instruction pieces. Yoko published a manifesto in 1972 titled The Feminization of Society, which argued for the equal participation of men in childcare and also stated, "We are forever apologetic for being real. Excuse me for farting. Excuse me for making love and smelling like a human being, instead of that odorless celluloid prince and princess image up there on the screen." That image was something Yoko actively fought against, in her work and in her life with Lennon. They formed the Plastic Ono Band, which brought together their disparate origins, physical appearance, and musical styles. Yoko's contributions surprised and often repelled audiences, making sounds that were referred to as screams, shrieks, yelps, and lamentations. Her sounds contained traces of the opera, German lieder, and other music she learned in her youth. And she said of her technique, if you were drowning, you wouldn't say, "I'd like to be helped because I have just a moment to live." You'd say, "Help!" But if you were more
yeah, exactly. Like, oh no, she's expressing her knowledge of the German opera. Alright, the other stuff was pretty cool. Now, at this point, you're definitely in fucking La La Land. You know what would be cool? If I just fucking screamed for no reason.
desperate, you'd say? They continued to produce music together and separately, to the displeasure of many of Lennon's fans, but to the often begrudging respect of critics. She merged her avant-garde sensibility with that of popular music, and up to today has produced fearless and boundary-pushing music with the consistent support of outside collaborators. It's at the same time confounding.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. What, you think that John Lennon would hang out with somebody that did drugs? What, are you out of your mind? That guy was as square as it gets. This one's so good.
As much as people talk about the Beatles and how great their music was, whatever you want to say, I totally agree with them. I think they're the greatest band of all time. But I have to be honest with you, John Lennon and Paul McCartney redefined Pussy Whipped. You have to watch this fucking video. It's John Lennon is singing with Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry is probably one of the main reasons why John Lennon ever picked up a guitar. So now he's on TV. He gets to play with his idol. They're playing Chuck Berry's hit Memphis. Okay, John Lennon's got Yoko in his fucking band. They're in the middle of singing this song on television, and they're killing it. It's going great. Yoko's playing some stupid fucking drum. And even though she has no fucking talent whatsoever, he's putting her in the fucking band just so she'll shut the fuck up and stop nagging him, because he's too much of a fucking pussy to tell her that she has no talent. All right? The only reason why you're here, Yoko, is because you're sucking my dick. All right? No, you can't play the bongos. But anyway, she's up there playing the bongos, right? So John Lennon, Chuck Berry, two of the greats of all time, harmonizing, singing this hit from the 1950s. That's what this moment's about. And Yoko, in the middle of it, can't handle that she's not getting any shine. She takes the fucking microphone out of the stand, starts playing the bongo, and as they're singing, you know, go, go, Johnny, go, whatever, she picks up the mic and I swear to God goes, yeah, some fucking crazy shit. And you see Chuck Berry's eyes fucking open as wide as they are, and it's that fucking look. Dude, you ever have like a buddy of yours and he's dating some fucking psycho, but he's in love with her, so you can't fucking say anything, and you're just sitting there waiting for the fucking lightning bolt to hit your friend in the head where he finally realizes that he's dating a psycho cunt? Chuck Berry had that look on his face. Dude, I'm not even exaggerating. Yeah, that's what the fuck she did. And Chuck Berry's like, what the fuck? And it's kind of like, John, that's your woman. Get her in line. And John Lennon does not even fucking, he doesn't even blink. He just keeps playing. And then she does it again later on in that song. And then you look at all the other musicians and they just keep playing the song like Yoko isn't even fucking there. And I actually get infuriated when I watch this video. The fact that John didn't just stop playing in that moment. And what he should have done was dressed her down right there. It's like, fine, you want to have a fucking moment? This is your moment. If you ever fucking do that again, I will slap you so fucking hard in the head, your eyes are going to look like mine. Do you understand me? You play that fucking bongo and you shut your face. You look like that bitch who crawled out of the fucking well in Ring. You understand me? I don't even know why I'm fucking you. I could be fucking anybody. You can't play the bongos. You can't sing. Shut your fucking face. And then he just walks back up to the mic and just counts the band back in. Right? Isn't that what the fuck you should have done?
Excellent. Yeah, that's Bill Burr. That one's so funny. That line, I'm gonna hit you so hard in the face, your eyes are gonna look like mine, is fucking classic. That is so good.